earlier as an example when I was showing you the advanced screen, and 770 is the 770 is the amount that we sort of refunded to the patient. So we have two slots that are available, and in a total, the patient has 170 as advance available in his system. One negative point about it is minus 1770 due means, so it's like negating the line. It's a due of minus 1770. That means we owe him this much. It shouldn't have been like that. It should have become green, and it should have told that we have advance owe 1770. It should have been the other way around. But they were not smart enough to do that, so instead they just kept it like this, and now it shows minus one. Whenever there is a minus, that means the hospital owes it to the patient. Whenever it's blinking, that means the patient owes it to the hospital. So that's the way you have to do it, sadly. Anyways, I can go to advances now. And sorry, I don't want to go to advance. I want to go to refund the advance, right? So I'm going to go over here, front office, advance refund. Click on that. So you see all the different balances. I told you, right? It's going to give you like a history of everything that has been done. Uh, and it will show you accordingly what was the balance, what happened, how much amount was deposited, what came back, and all those things. And over here, very straightforwardly, it's going to tell you two collection was done. Two times the amount was deposited. One time 1,000 reals, next second time 770. I want to give him back the 770 part only. So I'm going to click on 770. I'm giving it back as a cash. Refunded by cancelled by supervisor. Once again, it should have been a drop-down list. I should not be doing this. And click on save. Now successfully, I have, sorry. Successfully now I have refunded the 770 reals for the patient. So very straightforward thing, smooth operations and things like that. So as an operation, if you really want to do things very smoothly and systematically and things like that, yeah, this system supports. It's not that bad. But it's only about the technology and how heavy it is and things like that, or else the application was good enough to be used. That's not a problem. So we've seen everything from the side of what the reception is using and things like that. I will now be moving on to show you the shift collection part of how the shift is closed and how collection is done and variance and all is being seen. Before that, so whatever you've seen so far, do you have any comments or do you have any doubts over here that you want to ask? Anything that you are still wondering that how to see in this part?
Yes, Mr. Osama, this all related to the front office, especially for the OPD, right?
Yeah, especially for the OPD, but applies to inpatient also. Doesn't matter. Like
Mhm,
advanced and
mhm.
all examples, yeah, they apply to inpatient. But I will also do one scenario of inpatient completely, where we will
Yeah,
take an
exactly.
approval for a bed and things like that. Yeah. Okay.
Because
So
this is my field, that's why.
done. Okay, and for you, I'll do it.
Thank you very much. Thank
Most
you.
welcome. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do one thing. We'll just go through the accounts part and close that whole subject, and then we will do an inpatient full scenario, right? Where we will properly take an approval for a patient who's going to get admitted tomorrow and things like that, and we will see how it goes. So I've clicked on my now this is the first time I'm going into this module of ours. It's called the accounting module, accounts management module. If I go to the setup over here, it has two options: a shift close and discount setup and things like that. You'll only come here for these three things. You'll come here for discount setup, shift open, and shift close. These are the only things that you'll come here for. If I click on shift close, I can go and I can say I'm gonna close the shift for one of the cashiers. Usually you have IDs of people that you know, that so you can just simply punch in that ID over here. But in case you don't, then you have to mention it. You see this. Why did I move it back? Is because there was no shift open in last week or something from the system, so it doesn't have to. So The period that I'm setting over here has to be when the shift was open, right? So between 2nd of November and 12th of Jan, in the middle of it, there should have been a shift open, and then only I can see. Let's try something for this guy, Ahmed Yahya. Okay, so if I click on Ahmed Yahya Zahrani, and I say show, he has nothing over here. I'm gonna clear this. Yeah, good. Okay, so I can see over here that for Maram, she has collected certain she has done one billing of a credit invoice, that is insurance invoice of 41 riyals. I can click on that. I can see what was the bill number. It's called IC. So for this file number, that's good. And has she cancelled any amounts? No, she hasn't. The total is 41 riyals, but actual amount is nothing over here. There's nothing to be collected for her, so I can close her shift very straightforward. That is this is a very clear scenario. Okay, let's try to get someone who has something on his account. Yeah, excellent. We got a perfect example. This particular person, Sultan, he has cash bills of 3 and in insurance bills of 168. Okay, insurance bills we can't do anything about it, right? Because you understand there's no real cash against it. It's just a pseudo money that we are trying to see, which will be claimed by the insurance companies later. So I'm not going to talk about that part. Here I'm really caring for only the first two parts: cash and non-cash. Cash means, of course, hard cash, and non-cash means all advance settlements and insurance. Sorry, credit card payments, and these are the things that we're going to do. Now, this surprisingly, this guy has not done any card payment over here, and and the reason because of this is that people are not using the option, right? They haven't actually. This person is not really having 34 riyals in cash in his hand. He must be having like 10 riyals only. The rest of the 24 riyals was paid by the by card, but he was just lazy to put it on the non-cash scenario. This can create a lot of issue, right? So this is what I was talking about exactly. So I need to open this and I need to see that, okay, he's billed what against which patient and when exactly it was done. I can see get the file numbers of the patient also over here and exactly and identify. So you can confirm me that, yeah, these payments were done for this particular services. Those are patients. If he's cancelled any amounts, I can see exactly what are the bills that he's cancelled, what is the total amount that he has, and then I can match. So I can see from my screen when I come to Sultan, I can see that he needs to pay me 34.79 riyals. Uh, if he gives me 30 riyals, I'll write over here 30 riyals, and I will put 4.79 on automatically will be calculated as a variance in his account. Okay, maybe he use the 479 to go take a cup of coffee. I don't know. So the amount that is left with him is only 30 riyals that he gave me today at the end of the day. That 30 riyals I will take it over here and I will put a variance of 4.79 and save it. When I do that, now his shift is closed and there is an entry done for that particular this thing. I'll show you how to see that part also. There's a report for it. I'll show you a report for that later. Anyways, that's how we close a shift also to do if you ever have to. So if you could report manager, there should be something for accounts shift closing accounts shift close details. shift close I did today, right? So I'll put in today's date. The idea is to show me that how many shifts did I close in this period of time. Okay, and today let me see how many shifts I closed. I closed only one shift for Sultan. This is the shift ID. I can extract this in an Excel sheet also if I have to. There were three cash bills, three bills, and now there were cash bills. And what was the variance amount? It was 4.78 reals. And I can keep going to see other details also. Who was the one that closed it? Administrator, that's me. And it was closed by this particular user ID. And this amount, this I can send it to the finance department so they can sort of or integrate it with the ERP. So if there's a variance and at the end of the month and it has not been cleared by the customer or the employee, then it will be deducted from his salary. So that's how we see a scenario for the cash collection. Now let's take a dive on the inpatient scenario, inpatient part. We will try to do a very quick scenario for inpatient where we are seeing the doctor is already ordered for admission for a particular patient, and we want to see how we can get an approval for the patient and admit him if the time comes when the time comes. So I'm going to go to the insurance desk and see if there is already an existing order for the inpatient. I'm going to see if there's an existing order someone has ever done, so I can utilize that same order to admit the patient. If not, then I'll have to sort of create one on my own. Great. Okay. I'm going to talk, show you a scenario about someone who already has a admission request. All right. So, admission request. And okay, so whoever can read this, on 16th of November, this lady was requested to get admitted for a normal delivery, and we can see the details over here, right? All the information over here. If I go here to ADT, okay, I should be able to sort of view the admission discharge details if there was any for the past this thing. But yeah, but anyways, but before that happens, I want to first go and check get an approval for this particular patient, right? So let me just see first of all patient information if we have any